The title of my talk is Act Your Shoe Size, Not Your Age. So I want everyone to close your eyes and imagine you are the age of your shoe size, right? So for me that's 11 and a half. For some of the ladies it's going to be size 7. So everybody close your eyes. Picture you when you were 7 years old, 11 years old, whatever you were. Where'd you live? Where'd you go to school? What was important to you? How'd you interact with people? Think about those things. What'd you like? What'd you dislike? Give you like 10 seconds to think about those things. Okay, now keep your eyes closed. Now think about you today in 2013. You're 18, 19, 20, 22, whatever you are. Okay, think about your life, what's important to you, but think mostly about your anxieties, what causes you maybe depression, what you cry about, whatever. Okay, this is really, really good for lunch, right? Okay, so now everybody open your eyes. I don't know about you, but for me, 11-year-old me, okay, I was in Orange County. I was in 6th grade. I liked to hang out with my friends. I had a lot of friends. I had close friends. I really liked, close interactions with my family, loving my family. I wanted to be a baseball player. I wanted to go to Stanford and then go on to play pro baseball. I had big dreams and goals. And then me in college, I'm not at Stanford, thank God, right? I'm at UCSB. But something got off somewhere along the line. I hit midway through college, and I was super anxious and depressed and pretty apathetic, worried mostly about achieving wealth, going after success, pretty much having more than the guy next to me, right? Taking products to market or whatever. I'm worried about all these stupid things, rather than 11-year-old me probably would have been pretty upset with me. Okay? 11-year-old me would have said, "You're worried about all the wrong things. These things aren't meaningful in life." Right? What's meaningful in life are our relationships, our love, our friendships, our family. And you're worried about money, but not just money so you can have a swimming pool, money just for the sake of having money, something like that, right? Hold on, I gotta pull out my notes because I forgot what I want to say. Anyways, most people bring PowerPoint. I have this ripped out section in my notebook. These are my notes. Anyways, 11-year-old me would have been pretty upset. The other part is I'm hiding from how I really feel. And I think for a lot of us, we hide behind, you're at this entrepreneurs conference, right? You hide behind this, I need to be an entrepreneur, I need to do this, I need to do that, right? Maybe it's school, whatever. But we're hiding behind these things. We're not connecting with how we really feel. We're not connecting with other people very well. And instead, we're like just becoming anxious and depressed, right? And this is going to eventually lead us into this cycle that Lex was talking about earlier, where we're going to get into a midlife crisis and be depressed. We're not going to be happy in life. We're not going to have a life of meaning. And so instead of going towards that midlife crisis, I think we should look at 11-year-old Robbie and find what are 3 things that 11-year-old Robbie could really teach me that's going to benefit, right? And the first one is 11-year-old Robbie was incredibly honest. Like, you ask 11-year-old Robbie, "Did you like your mom's dinner tonight?" No way, man. Right? Like, you would never say that now. Like, that would hurt your mom's feelings. But 11-year-old Robbie's super honest. And so the first thing we need to do, I think, act like a child and be honest with ourselves, where we're at, why we're here. This is like what Lex was talking about. What do you like to do? What do you not like to do? What are we doing here in life? How do we feel about things? And then be honest with other people, connect with other people. I think that's a really important thing, to find meaning in life, to find deep, close relationships with people. So be honest. The second one is, 11-year-old Robbie had huge dreams. They're a little bit different than my dreams now, but I hit this point of anxiety, depression, and apathy because I had lost meaningful dreams. And so 11-year-old Robbie had big, meaningful dreams that were to help people, that were to have fun, that were to play baseball, do stuff that I liked. And then my dreams were just have a lot of money, stuff like that. That's stupid. That's really dumb. So I think we need to dream big about meaningful stuff. And so what my dreams are now is I want to own a bunch of real estate property so that I can put widows and hurting families in them. That's what I want to do, is help them live, have a place to live. That's my meaningful dream now, and I need to keep that 11-year-old hope to think that I'm going to be able to do that someday, because it's going to be really hard. Okay? And the third thing that we can take from kids is we need to enjoy life. And I don't mean just enjoy life like go out and get smashed and have a bunch of like random sex and stuff like, yeah, that's fun, sure, okay? But that's not really like enjoying life. An 11-year-old enjoys life. You don't need to teach him how to enjoy life. He enjoys everything about life. You put a bunch of 11-year-olds together with a ball, and these 75 11-year-olds can have fun with one ball for half an hour. Like, they really know how to enjoy life. And I think we need to get back in touch with enjoying life, because if not, we're going to get into this vicious cycle that's just going to spit us out into depression, especially when we're in our middle age. And so we need to be honest with ourselves and others. I think we need to dream big and have hopes of a child, right, for meaningful dreams. And I think we need to have a lot of fun and really enjoy life deeply in loving relationships and in meaningful work. So that's how I think you should be like a child.
When was the last time you called your parents to tell them you love them and appreciate all that they've done for you? Not just a closing sentence at the end of the phone call, but just picked up the phone solely to call them and tell them how much you love and appreciate them. For me, before this incident, I couldn't tell you. I can't recall the last time that I would even say those 3 words to them. My parents and I obviously love each other. We hold a lot of love for one another, but it was never expressed. It was more of an unspoken love. A couple years back, I took a weekend seminar, and each day was about 10 hours long with 2 or 3 breaks in between. Before each break, our coach would give us an assignment to come back to the preceding part of the coursework. This particular day, I was very antsy in my seat, couldn't wait to get out to text my friends, tell them how bored I was, and couldn't wait to finish the day. And before she let us leave, she told us to go outside, call each of our parents, and tell them how much we love them and appreciate all that they've done for us up until now. I took this in and brushed it off. She would never know if I did it or not, so I just kind of put it under the rug. Before she let us go, though, she told us a story about how she taught this course a couple of years back. And there was this individual in the course who bumped heads with her father, and they didn't have a good relationship, and so she really urged her to go out and complete this assignment. So once she went on this break, she did call her father, told her how much she loved and appreciated him. She came back ecstatic and had a lot to tell the class. Within those next 30 minutes, she was notified by an attendant in the back that she had an emergency phone call. When she went to take that call, she found out that within those last 30 minutes, her father, who was a construction worker working at a high-rise, had fallen to his death. Before even leaving the room, I felt so much guilt because I had already made the decision that I wasn't going to make that call. As I proceeded outside, I saw everyone in the course, about 60 of us, just disperse into their own corners, and I realized I'm not the only one who finds it so weird to say these 3 words to your parents. And as I made my way into my own little corner, I found myself shaking and nervous to make this phone call, and it's just 3 simple words. So I call my mom first, and she doesn't answer the phone, so I proceed to call my father, who had taken the course before, so I knew he was expecting this phone call. I tell him how much I love him and how much I appreciate all that he's done for me, and I don't know where I would be without him today. Those 3 words opened up the doors for us in so many ways. My relationship with my mom and my dad has flourished so much since then. We can sit down and have conversations for hours, and it's all because of those 3 words. I urge you to call your parents or your loved ones and share the power of I love you. It's more rewarding than you think. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. So, my name's Adam Porter. I'm going to talk about how performance in a cappella is related to public speaking. They're one and the same in some ways. You probably recognize me. I was a singer in Brothers from Other Mothers. Sang it this morning. We warmed my vocal cords up as we were singing. So I had a little middle schooler voice afterward. I was like, just kind of like cracking a lot, and it wasn't very comfortable, but now I'm better. So, when you're on stage, you're a confident leader. You are the information that you're presenting is, you completely know it. It's, you're not reading off a piece of paper like this right now, actually, to be honest. So we all remember presentations that we made when we were in middle school. You're almost like asking questions of the audience. You don't thoroughly understand it. It's you're not commanding the presence in the room, as I will now. Usually, unless you're advertising or busking with music on the street, the people who are sitting in the room are there for a reason. They're listening to you for a reason. So, you have a great message to tell. Be articulate and don't mumble. Just let it out. That's common sense right there. Specifically of acapella performance. I was watching videos of the Coachella. You guys have heard of Coachella before, right? Coachella, yeah. I was watching videos of the music festival not that long ago. And actually, as I was kind of writing this presentation, I was just thinking wow, Metric has great stage presence. She's constantly moving around the stage. She's dancing. No matter who the focus was on, the camera for was on. The guitarist at one point. I was trying to see her. I was trying to see what the lead singer was doing, because no matter where you are on stage, you want to constantly be, pretending that everyone's watching you. You want to be commanding everyone's presence, because if you're just standing there picking your nose in the back, singing baritone, just my brothers right there who are not here to be upset. You're basically being watched by everyone, no matter where you are on stage. If you're in the background, you're basically that. Anyways, watching these Coachella videos, I was thinking B-Funk could learn some things. I mean, there's a wide variety of performers here, and I decided that we want to channel this kind of rock star presence that they've got. What you can learn from other people in any medium of performance and music. Could be Jesus. Didn't practice that much. Anyways. You want to embody a rock star presence in general. And this goes for speech makers. This goes for, you watch videos of presidential speeches. If you're making a PowerPoint presentation, you can learn a thing or two from, a CEO, someone big like that. Okay. Awareness of the environment that you're in when you're making a presentation. To take B-Funk as an example again, we do these things called brothergrams, where we're singing telegrams. We go and we'll sing anywhere, whatever you want, whether it's a small setting or out in the middle of a store plaza. So we were singing one time for this. We were going to a random apartment down on Santa Ynez Apartments, and we went out there and we go into the room, and there's this very shy girl sitting there. She didn't know that we were coming. We realized we were supposed to sing to her, and so we were kind of looking around, we were like, "Where's Jen at? Where's Jen at?" It's like, "That's Jenna right there." And the girl comes out. She's like, "She wants to sing to her." So we suddenly have to refocus our energy and everything. We were pumped. We were just walking right past her, going into one of the bedrooms or something like that. We go back out there, and we had to adjust our performance level to this person who had already seen us, all these things. So you can capture the right level of intensity, and for a small room, for a small audience, and channel that, and be just as compelling as if you're trying to fill a large room, like this one. it's just different levels of performance. So relating that back to what I'm actually talking about, public speaking. If just being aware of who's already presented before you, being wary of where you're gonna, where your talk is gonna, what it's gonna address, if it's gonna address things that people have already discussed. Just take that into account, being aware of your environment. Next. So, sing. That brings me to my next topic. In the case that you're trapped, and you're presenting before an audience, and you're not exactly ready for it, have backup ideas tucked away, in case something falls through. This could involve an anecdote or a joke that's related to your topic. If I were making a PowerPoint presentation, which I'm not, and it failed to work, I would be prepared to sing "Since You've Been Gone" by Weird Al Yankovic, because my acapella group did not sing that this morning. If I didn't have this very valuable piece of paper to me right now, then I would probably sing that song as well. I might sing it for you anyways, though, just in order to make up for any unpreparedness that I have. Yeah? All right. Okay. Since you've been gone, well, it feels like I've been chewing on tin foil. Since you've been gone, well, it's like I got a great big mouthful called liver oil. Well, I'm feeling like I stuck my hand inside a blender and turned it on. You know I've been in a buttload of pain since you've been gone. I couldn't feel any worse if you dropped a two-ton bowling ball on my toes. I couldn't hurt anymore if you shoved your red-hot cactus up my nose. Since you've been gone, well, it feels like I'm getting tetanus shots every day. Since you've been gone, well, it's like I got an ice cream headache that won't go away. Oh, ever since the day you left me, I've been so miserable, my dear. I'm like, oh, right now. I'm feeling almost as bad as I did when you were still here. Partway through singing that, I didn't have any of my acapella group guys there. I'm like, oh, this is like, it's silent, and they're supposed to be singing right now. I will fill this space. Yeah. So, anyways, to conclude my 5 minutes, I would like to leave you guys with a quote from Bobby McFerrin. My acapella group and I, and several other ones, had the pleasure of doing a workshop with Bobby McFerrin when he was performing downtown. He went to, he apparently he does that. He contacts college campuses that he's around to come and sing with him, which is totally amazing. He's like this legendary singer, don't worry, be happy, that guy. I was totally shocked. I thought everyone was joking. So we were sitting there, we were singing with him, and he's kind of critiquing us backstage before he performs that night. And he said, if you're going to have butterflies, make sure they're flying in formation. So I just that really stuck with me. And a few other people from the group were it's so concise. It's really clear about performance in general. If you're gonna feel these nerves no matter what. I perform on stage all the time, but coming in here, I'm like, do I know what I'm doing? Maybe not. Just performance in general. If you're gonna be nervous, make sure that you're directing it correctly, and it will be riveting because the people who are listening are there for a reason. They want to hear you. Thank you so much for listening.
Tough act to follow. Thank you for the Weird Al Yankovic impression. That was great. So when I graduated from high school, I thought that I was invincible. I could conquer anything that came my way, ready to do it. And I've learned a lot, whether it's from sales, dating, starting a business, just everything. Self-confidence is huge, but there's a fine line between cocky and confident. And in order to really be successful, I think it's very important to ask for help in order to strive for that successful confidence and be able to make sure that people can help you. So instead of a PowerPoint, I'd like to introduce Anthony, and we're going to go over the value of asking for help.
So one reason why Jason and I felt that there was a lot of value in talking about asking for help is because we are fortunate enough to go to Chapman University, where is home to an incubator program as well as an accelerator program. So there are a number of advisors and mentors who come through from accountants to CEOs, lawyers, to talk about anything when you're starting up a business, just like Jason and I. And we've really taken that time to sit down with them and understand that as young entrepreneurs, we are going to have to learn from those who have experienced beforehand. So one of the 3 topics I'm going to talk about are valuing time, or talking to advisors about valuing your time, your resources, and money that is out there. So as far as managing time, we're all young, and like Jason said, it's understanding confidence and cockiness. We all don't know it all. And talking to advisors who have experienced it before, like I said, they can lead us in the right path, and we won't be making the same mistakes, or we won't be going in the wrong direction. So it's really valuable to seek help that is out there. And just like a few advisors that have stood before us today, it's just really really valuable to sit down, get their information, and exchange your thoughts and their views with their experience. And as well as resources, being young, especially college students, we don't have all the resources it takes to really start a business venture. And sitting down with advisors and taking the time to not only value them, but also the resources that they know. I know, Jason, there's a number of times that I've sat down with an advisor at the incubator and they said, what, I don't know exactly how to help you, but I know somebody who does. And there's advisors that have experienced many business ventures. They meet a lot of other influential advisors and other influential businessmen. So taking advantage of their resources is something that all of us should do, and take the time to really go out and meet, shake their hands. It's not really easy, especially you get uncomfortable when you know that the advisors seek a lot of success, achieve all of his goals, but he's also failed. And learning from advisors about failure is probably one of the strongest things that has ever impacted my life, because learning from what they have done wrong, I don't go and repeat the same mistake. So we're 10 steps ahead if you go out there and seek the resources. And as far as money goes, being young entrepreneurs, and especially being college students, I know I'm sitting in some college debt myself. There's money to be out there, or there's actually money to be funded for our projects, even though we don't have the necessary money. There's angel investors, there's VCs, there's business plan competitions that we have both competed in, and there's opportunity out there for you. And these investors and the advisors see that we are young, and like Mr. Klaus said, that we are the next generation. And the advisors that are older than us want to really value our time because we are young, and they know that we are very passionate about what we do, and they know that, like I said, we're the next generation. So going out and seeking advice and trying to start your own business, don't be scared of I don't know the right people, I don't have any of the money, I don't necessarily have the skill. Asking for help is probably the most valuable thing you can do because it's out there for us. And as entrepreneurs to grow, we need to learn from experiences from others. So that's what.
Thank you. So there's a lot of tasks that somebody has to do in order to start their own business to really be successful in any means. So that's where employees and founders, a team, really come together. So obviously many people have been on sports teams or any form of team in which you've got to work together to create some goal and accomplish a task. So in terms of management, an employee is really somebody that you trust enough to help you make money. You'll pay them because they will help make this business work. And you've got to trust this person, but there's no way you could do it on your own. You've got limited resources in time, money, and obviously your connections, your network. And I believe that your network is one of the most important things you can utilize. So in terms of marketing, reaching out to whether big publications, whether it's Wall Street Journal, LA Times, you could spend an entire day, an entire week, reaching out to hundreds of different journalists saying, here's my press release, can you tell the world, I solved all the problems. There's no way to really get that out there. People want news, they read news, but a salesman can only do so much. So you've got to make sure you've got that network built up, of authors, of editors, of journalists, anyone that can spread the word effectively. And that also goes into social media, which is obviously free advertising. We all know how to do it. We connect with our friends on Facebook, Twitter. It's common sense for us, where most of these people that we're around day to day, most people even dress up for it. The reason that we look professional is because there's these higher upper management, higher level people that don't understand the uses of this screen that's in our pocket, our computer, that at all times. I mean, we can Google an answer if we have a question. Education, the whole system is just kind of weird now because of that. I mean, we can figure out what temperature is like 20 years from now in some random place just based on estimates through our phones. We don't need to study meteorology. We don't need any of that. But to connect with those people and say, look at the information that we've aggregated, the way that we can get it out there. Now, another important thing is that social media aspect. You can't flood the market with anything. And I know that I don't want to be in charge of making sure this tweet goes out today because of all this blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a lot of things that need to happen in order for a business to run. And people that are the upper management don't go online. They're active, maybe they'll write a blog, or a founder writes a blog just to get the word out. But you need help, and it's okay to ask for it. There's no point in saying, this is my dream, this is my goal, and I'm not going to tell anyone else about it, because you're not going to get anywhere. How are you going to benefit your own clients, your own customers, if you don't ask for help in order to achieve this task? So what we've been working on lately, starting our own businesses, seeing what it really takes. And Anthony actually has about 17, 18 other people that he's been working with, and everyone's just got different positions. We'd love to kind of go into more detail about our experiences with that. But most importantly, asking for help, making sure that you're comfortable saying, here's what I believe in, here's what I can do, but I'm going to need somebody with me, not only for motivation, but just kind of common sense, an idea wall, somebody to bounce ideas off of. So Anthony, if you could talk about your experiences, that'd be great.
Yes, well, actually, one of the experiences that just popped into mind about saving time, money, and headaches. I spoke a little bit in the last lecture we just had about my startup business, which is a men's underapparel product, and underapparel brand, and our first product is a men's boxer brief. So when I first started trying to manufacture our clothing, I had little experience importing products from China and selling them on Amazon and eBay, and after 6 months of that, I thought, hey, well, I can do the same thing with textiles. So for 4 months, I was sending back and forth samples from China, and I really couldn't develop my product just like I'd want to, and like I thought I could. And it wasn't until 4 months later, and spending way too much money on shipping and sample costs, and I sat down with an advisor of mine, Ora Villalobos, who's now my mentor today. And the first time I sat with her, I told her my situation. I was like, you know what? I went to China. I thought I could do it there, and I thought I could develop my product for cheaper costs. Just thinking the young entrepreneur thoughts. And what she said to me, she's like, China's for duplication, LA is for developing. Take your product to LA, develop it, and send it back over to China, and that's how it happens. So that's exactly what I did, and it saved me a lot more time, a lot more money. And if I had went and seeked help and I went and saw her first, it would have saved me 4 months and some time. So that's just a little experience of mine.
So I also have a mentor, and this guy has done everything that I'm trying to do. I mean, starting a business, this guy has sat on the board of 3 public companies, taken 3 other companies public. Through his experiences, he knows all of these simple tasks that I go through day to day. Kind of bootstrapping a startup, obviously not spending a ton of money to make it happen, but providing some resource for the community. So what I'm trying to do is help local businesses with marketing. They don't want to manage their social media. They don't want to do their online presence. They want to run their business. But within the last few years, everything's like, oh, you need a website. You need to make sure that you're out in front of this audience. And there's such an efficient way to reach people. With social media and personalized advertising, everyone can get that instant gratification. Pull out your phone, you've got the information you need. But for some reason, it's difficult to find relevant information, especially in the local community. So let's say there's some resource in which you, as a specific individual, maybe somebody at NGS, somebody's here and a business views you guys as their target market. They should have some resource in which they can say, hey, I will offer you this deal, or Keon, if you bring 100 people in, then we'll give you 10% off. But there's no resource in order to reach a specific target market. So I'm helping businesses reach their target markets, kind of getting right in between the advertising. So speaking with business owners, seeing what they need, whether it's promoting on campus, in the local community, all I do is I say, how can I help you? And they just wander, their minds just go places that that I had never thought about. I don't own a pizza restaurant. I don't own a dry cleaning place or a taxi cab company. But I've helped them market to their target market, people they believe will be potential customers, and make it efficient, affordable, and that's really what my mentor, Mr. Dadamo, has taught me. He said that you've got to figure out what your clients need, and I wrote it down earlier, he sell, build, and then I believe it was implement. I'm not sure exactly what the sell, design, build.
Design build.
Sell, design, build. Okay, I think that is awesome because you've got to figure out if you're even able to market a product. In marketing, obviously, you've got to ask for help with that. There's so many other aspects that asking for help is crucial. So, thank you very much. I'd like to ask you guys for help. I'd love to talk about my business, just what I'm working on. Every single one of you is a potential client, potential customer, potential investor. Everyone around us is a network. So that's why we came up here. We were excited to call right up, just to know who we're meeting. Just all of you guys have such interesting stories, and I think that we can work together in this networking opportunity. Keon, I can't even say thank you enough. I mean, this will be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you guys. Thank you.